He's pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah,
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to crumble.
Jake Paul reacts with surprise after seeing Gervonta Davis's intense sparring clips. Jake says he enjoys it when people criticize or doubt him because it makes every fight more exciting. He adds that he's still training hard and staying focused. Jake confidently explains that he has wanted to fight Tank for a long time, and now that it's finally happening, he truly believes he can win.
Stand on business and say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when
it makes it fun.
When he lay your boy out, you know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly at which moment.
Shob as the adult strongly responds to critics who say Gervonta Davis took the Jake Paul fight just for money. He argues that the situation is more complex than people think. Jake himself revealed that the fight contract includes a special knockout bonus, which changes everything. If a huge bonus is offered for a knockout, Tank will fight with full aggression and never risk being knocked out. This fight isn't just about pride, it's also about money and legacy. Shobaz explains that critics forget the mental side of this. Tank has too much pride to get dropped by a YouTuber turned boxer. So, when people call it a cash grab, they miss the fact that Tank's pride and reputation mean more than money. Jake's knockout bonus talk might have only made the fight even more personal.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're going to get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million.
Let's make it two.
Y'all gonna shake on it?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Shake $1 million.
$2 mil?
2 mil?
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Bro, get a shake.
Oh, they're shaking left ear.
2 mil.
There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag? Whenever I got good food on my plate, I clean the plate. There is no reason to bull jive. Hold on. Because I'm going to play some Marvel Rivals. Let me get all this together. I'm going to be playing some Marvel Rivals later. Hold on, let me get my blind. 2 sugars, no cream. And yes, no cream. Because I'm fired up today. I got on the scale today and I'm 209 pounds. Okay, you guys know that I'm on the fitness journey. I'm showing you guys my video journal. And I started at 217 pounds when I started all this 12 days ago. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing faint abs. Hold on, the faint abs. Woo! The faint abs! The faint abs! The faint abs! I'm telling you, it'll be back. I will be back. I want my Terminator shit. And when I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys my secret and exactly how I did it. I'm talking about step by step, everything. I'm going to be in great shape like I was. When I turned 45 and all the gray in the beard, I was just like, it ain't over, bro. It ain't over. Hold on. Let me. Ooh. Dr. Doom. Okay. All right. But listen, a lot of you guys calling this a fake fight and all this shit. I'm going to quote one of you in the war room. I forgot, one of my show business partners said, was it Justin Hill? I forgot who it was. You guys said, something like, and if I misquote you, I'm sorry, but it was dope. You said something like, if this is a fake fight, it definitely has real consequences. I keep telling you guys, man, if it goes on their real record or not, whatever it is, you know what you saw. It's just like Ryan Garcia versus Devin the American Dream Haney. Devin Haney is still undefeated, but we know what we saw. You cannot erase what we saw. If Jake Paul knocks out Tank Davis, there's some real circumstances. The shit goes viral, and I'm going to lose $10,000. Jake Paul isn't just going to win in this exhibition, but he's also going to get a knockout bonus and an extra $2 million.
Robert Garcia looks at the fight like an experienced coach. He says there's nothing technically wrong with Tank fighting Jake Paul. It's his career and his choice, but the timing feels off. Garcia notes that legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and Pacquiao took exhibition fights only after building their legacies and winning big titles. Tank hasn't done that yet. He still owes fans real fights that define greatness, battles against top names like Shocker Stevenson or Devin Haney. Garcia says the issue isn't the fight itself, it's what it represents. Instead of proving his greatness, Tank picked a flashy event with Jake Paul to Garcia. That looks like skipping a step. He believes Tank has enough talent to build a legacy the right way, but taking shortcuts could hurt his reputation. In his eyes, this fight feels rushed and more about show than progress.
They stop the contest before something like that, but I don't know. What's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing that's what everybody looks for. I think is, you know, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. You know, everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. You know, the only thing, my personal opinion is Tank. You know, they all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Rhodes that rematch, which he should have. You know, Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked. I would do the same.
No one would say no to that. Right?
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. You know, it's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care how many belts he won or who he fought.
Bernie the Boxer gives a very direct opinion. He mocks people who say they're happy Tank is making money, saying they're missing the real point. Tank isn't broke. He's already one of the highest paid fighters of his era. Fans don't care about his earnings. They care about real competition. Bernie says boxing fans watch for skill, excitement, and rivalry, not for paychecks. He adds that what really matters is what happens in the actual ring. If Lamont Roach beats Isaac Pitbull Cruz, that would mean something because Cruz is one of Tank's toughest rivals. That kind of result affects rankings and legacy. Bernie insists Tank needs meaningful fights to stay respected. Money fights like the one with Jake might sell, but they don't build history. For true fans, legacy is what truly counts.
Rematch with Tank, and it's I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. It's starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, I mean, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? I mean, don't you think that people would want to see, you know, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, you know, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. You know, they don't want to leave it unfinished. And that's what the intrigue is. They want to people want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight. And it doesn't make no sense why they taking so fucking a fight, you know. Everybody keeps saying that Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money? Is we bidding there for the fucking money? Is he gonna give us some of the money? Are we waiting on him to feed us any bit? No. I want what I want. Fuck that. I'm selfish. I'm a fan. I want to see the fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody saying, oh, he get the bag, who gives a fuck? I hope he do get. He already rich as fuck. He already won 30 million in the last fight or something. He got more money than I'm ever gonna have. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm a fucking boxing fan. I want to see a fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking farce. Fuck. Motherfucker count another motherfucker pockets. They all getting paid. These motherfuckers getting paid millions. Boy, we making how much? 60,000, 40,000 every motherfucking day. Going to work 9 hours a day and shit. And then coming home waiting on income tax and shit like that to get some big bread. Come on, man. I'm talking about the average person.
Lamont Roach speaks calmly but firmly about the controversy over the Jake Paul fight. He says he doesn't blame Tank for taking such a big opportunity, but he criticizes how it was handled. Roach reveals that his own contract with Tank included a rematch clause, but Tank went silent and instead signed to fight Jake without saying anything. For Roach, that's unprofessional and disrespectful. He admits he might have done the same thing in Tank's position, but only the right way. What bothers him is not the fight itself, but the lack of honesty. Boxing is supposed to be built on respect and fairness. When fighters skip commitments for spectacle fights, it damages that trust. Roach says the move might help Tank financially, but it hurts his image among fighters who care about doing things properly. He sees it as a missed chance to show integrity.
Made right for not executing that rematch. Is it safe to say that there was some money given to you because of that?
Money given to me, not necessarily, but
okay.
You know, like I said, those guys took good care of me. Those guys on the other side took care of me. Not him personally and not his team personally, right. But you know,
but somebody made it right for that rematch not happening.
Kinda, you could say that. Yeah,
kinda. I understand. I don't understand the position you're in, but from the outside looking in, you had a phenomenal performance against arguably one of the best fighters, you know, top 10 pound for pound fighters in Tank, which many didn't believe it would happen. So you want the opportunity to get back and you know, I guess get the victory. But can you really, honestly, putting yourself in Tank's shoes, be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, you know, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up, but it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on or swindle around and fight.
Jake Paul defends his fight by saying it's not an exhibition. Like Mayweather versus Logan Paul, it's a real, sanctioned boxing match. He stresses that official judges will score it and a true winner will be announced, proving it's not a fake event. Jake proudly talks about the knockout bonus, saying it gives both fighters huge motivation. He says he performs best when people doubt him because it pushes him harder. Jake says this fight isn't just for money, it's the biggest moment of his career. For him, the knockout bonus isn't only about cash. It represents confidence, hard work, and belief. He's trained harder than ever and says he's not entering to just survive, he's coming to prove. He belongs among the best in the sport.
I mean, even the list you made years and years ago, Gervonta Davis is on the list. Yeah, exactly. It's all manifestation, and it's a very powerful thing. And yeah, I think people don't dream big or set massive aspirational goals and then also put the work in. I think that's the other thing is like, I'm still doing sprints and track work and bench press and squats and all of these things for the sport of boxing. So when I transition to NFL, I'm going to have a lot of that natural explosiveness and power from the past 6 years of training every day.
Ryan Garcia doesn't hold back his opinion. He believes Jake Paul's move is more about publicity than boxing. Ryan says Jake uses these fights to stay in the spotlight rather than to help the sport. Having fought Gervonta Davis himself, Ryan claims Tank only took the fight for the money, not for the challenge. According to him, real fighters chase legacy, not attention or big paydays. To Ryan, this matchup is just another example of fame being chosen over true competition.
Jake Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah, why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. And to me, that's just it's tricking the public, and it's kind of bullshit, bro, at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if Gervonta was Jake Paul's size, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. There probably wouldn't even be a fight.
Sean Porter gives a fair but critical opinion. He admits Jake Paul has done well to bring real fighters into the ring, which is impressive. But he says the main reason those fighters agree is money. Porter points out that most see Jake as a big payday, not as a respected opponent. That reputation has followed Jake since the start of his boxing career. He's earned fame, but not full respect. Porter believes Jake's skills, fitness, and discipline have improved, but he still needs years of fighting top-level opponents to gain true credibility. He explains that in boxing, respect isn't bought, it's earned through heart, consistency, and legacy.
I like when it's all said and done, and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. Yeah. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you, and that's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man. It's crazy, but people getting paid off of it. Yeah. So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not. I got no. I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports.
Comedian and boxing fan Earthquake gives a funny but sharp analysis of Jake's physical size. He says big, muscular fighters look scary at first, but their muscles slow them down once the fight starts. Their punches lose speed, and stamina becomes their biggest problem. Earthquake says that could happen to Jake Paul against Tank. Jake's power comes from size, but Tank's timing and ring IQ could make him miss and tire quickly. He explains that big muscles can't help when a fighter's gas tank runs empty technique, and patience win fights. Earthquake predicts Jake might start fast and aggressive, but as the rounds go on, Tank's endurance will take over. He reminds fans that boxing isn't about who looks stronger, it's about who lasts longer and stays sharp under pressure.
Well, you're a boxing fan?
Totally.
Okay. Tank Davis and Jake Paul in November. According to betonline.ag, Jake Paul's the underdog at plus 139. Gervonta Davis is the favorite at minus 180. So he's the favorite almost 2-1.
Right.
What do you think will happen in this ring?
I don't know, but Tank should beat him. Tank should beat him, but Tank is smaller. And usually in boxing, you take the bigger man, but then again, Terrence Crawford killed that when he beat Canelo.
They're the same weight.
Yeah, they were
at the
same
time.
Way,
well, no, maybe a little bit different after they rehydrated, but they weighed in at the same weight. There's a 30-pound difference between Gervonta and Jake Paul. Jake Paul had to lose like 30 pounds to get down to like 195. And Gervonta, I think, is like 160.
Gervonta all the way up to 160?
Well, hold on. Gervonta.
160?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. No. 133.8.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes, he 133.
It's a 60-pound weight difference.
Yes.
60 pounds.
Yes.
Ooh.